Dear poor people, the media lies of the left are not just in the United States, they're worldwide. So here we have a video of Tucker Carlson in Australia talking to the Australian media. And shout out to Black Conservative Perspective, because I did get this clip from his channel, and thank you, Black Conservative Perspective, for this. What we're finding is that what happens to the media in the United States, which we've been complaining about, how the media reacts when they encounter a narrative that is different from their own, that's happening is not just in the United States. This video exposes that this leftist movement through the media and the way that leftists who have joined the media as journalists have been taught to interact with people who have a different narrative is exactly the same. It's the carbon copy of what we're seeing here, apparently is happening everywhere else. So let's take a look.
My question on Putin.
Putin!
Putin! I think you did strategically because you knew it's what we'd ask.
Putin! He's so bad!
And I also appreciate that...
Did he make you take the COVID shot?
Take the what?
The COVID shot? No, he didn't. Sorry.
So much for your address today. So you talked a little bit about immigration, and in the past you've talked about how white Australians, Americans, Europeans are being replaced by non-white immigrants in what is often referred to as the Great Replacement Theory. This is the same...
Have I said that whites are being replaced?
Well...
I don't think I said that.
Well, it's been mentioned on your show 4,000 times. And
really, when did I say that?
On your show.
I said whites are being replaced?
You have said that before.
Really?
Yeah.
I would challenge you to cite that, because I'm pretty sure I haven't said that. I said native-born Americans are being replaced, including blacks.
Native-born Americans.
Native-born Americans.
And
Americans black Americans have been, African Americans have been in the United States for, in many cases, their families over 400 years. And their concerns are every bit as real and valid and alive to me as the concerns of white people whose families have been there 400 years. So I've never said that whites are being replaced. Not one time. And you can't cite it.
Untrue.
So we just met, but when our relationship starts with a lie, it makes it tough to be friends. So
you've been lying
let's
about
pull
my
that back. I'm
press
happy
gallery
to explain what I
as
do
well,
think.
So.
Well, you actually can't say it because I didn't say it, and I don't believe it. And I'm telling you that to your face, so why don't you just accept me at face value? My concern is that the people who are born in the country are the main responsibility of its leaders. And as noted earlier, when those leaders shift their concern from the people whose responsibility it is to take care of to people around the world to put their priorities above that of their own citizens, that's immoral.
So that's a very interesting point. So the point Tucker's making of they've got this leftist woman who is a journalist or posing as a journalist to ask Tucker these questions about the so-called Great Replacement Theory. And he said he never said it. And when he asked her to cite it, she couldn't cite it. And she said that when he said, no, I never said it, she said, that's not true. Well, that's not true is not the same as a citation. So now you're beginning to see. So this is what I'm saying. Although I 100% agree, I think Tucker is absolutely 100% right that your elected leaders are responsible to you for your concerns. And that is not their responsibility to go all over the world and search for concerns that they can put above yours because other people didn't elect them, you did. So their first responsibility is to you. That doesn't seem like such a hard concept to understand. But what is very interesting about this video is not that what Tucker's saying, because what he's saying is just flat out common sense. Nobody's going to say, yes, your parents should go care about what's going on with other people's children and put the welfare of other people's children above their own. Nobody believes that. That's just craziness. That's just foolishness. So what Tucker's saying is just plain common sense. But what's interesting here is exactly how she interacts with his common sense. The way she deals with it is what I find fascinating. And I am beginning to think they are literally teaching this in journalism schools. They are teaching people how to have this kind of pattern of speech because it's not a natural nor a normal pattern of speech. So listen to how the reporter takes what Tucker says and how she comes back based on what he says.
And they are being replaced in my country, people who were born in the United States. And the birth rate tells the whole story. They're not at replacement rate. And so the US population is growing because we're importing people from other countries. And my view is that happy people have children, and a functioning economy allows them to do that. And we don't have that. And so you need to fix the economy and fix the culture and make it so that people who want to have kids can. You don't just go for the quick sugar fix of importing new people. Like, that's my position. And if you think that's racist, that's your problem.
I never called you a racist.
But of course you are suggesting, and
well,
I must say, one of the reasons people don't like people like you in the media is that you never say exactly what you mean. Your slurs are all by implication, and you're about to tell me the great replacement theory is racist or anti-Semitic, whatever. I've said what I've said to you right now like 100 times in public. I hope to, if I live long enough, say it 100 more times. I think it's completely honest and real, not racist or scary. It's factually true. It's not a theory, it's a fact. And the whole point of your question was to be like, you're a scary racist.
Well, I haven't
And
actually
my
finished my
response is,
question.
no, I'm not. Okay, well, how about no more lying in your questions, and then I'll answer it.
Okay. Well, this is the same theory, or as you say, idea, that has inspired the New York Buffalo shooting where 11 black Americans were killed.
So exactly what he said she was going to do. He said the whole point of your question is to talk about the great replacement theory, tie it to racism, and then use it to say, I'm some scary racist. He said it is a question, it is an accusation by implication. And she said, no, I'm not going to do that because I haven't had a chance to ask my question yet. And when she asked her question, she did exactly that. That's exactly what she did.
Get people this stupid in the media. You know what I mean?
Americans were killed. Like, it's also inspired.
It's not. First of all,
it's inspired the worst, one of the worst Australian guns.
How do they get
time
people this stupid in the media? I guess it doesn't pay well. Look, I'm sorry. I've lived among people like you for too long, and I don't mean to call you stupid. Maybe you're just pretending to be, but I'm totally against violence. I'm totally against the war in Ukraine, for example, which doubtless you support. And like all dutiful liberals, support more carnage. I don't. I hate mass shootings, actually. Nothing I said, what does it mean to inspire something? My views are not bigoted against any group. They're honest. They're factual. That's not hate. That's reality. And my views derive from my deep concern for Americans, actually. Americans aren't having kids because they can't afford to. And nobody in charge cares. And so that's my position. That doesn't inspire mass shootings. How dare you try to tie me to some lunatic who murdered people? How dare you, actually?
So that's the part I'm very fascinated by. This absolutely, it's almost like a map where you have a point here and a point here and a point here, and your job is to try and tie these three unrelated events together. It's like, okay, someone once said the great replacement theory. We think that you secretly believe it, even though we can't cite that you ever said it. And now there was a shooting over here, which might have something to do with the great replacement theory, which she also did not cite. She said it inspires the worst, but never explained how it inspired. Why did the person write a manifesto and say, I'm having this shooting because I feel inspired by the great replacement theory? So there's never any citation. Like you said, it's an accusation by implication. And she absolutely is doing it. And guess what? She's not ready to give up on it either. She's going to go 10 toes down on this. All right, let's see. And unfortunately, she's going to go 10 toes down and Tucker is going to topple her over.
And in fact, I mean, do you know what I mean? I'd be like, Hitler wore those shoes. A lot of people are saying that you're like Hitler. Can you explain those shoes? Hitler wore exactly the same shoes. And you're like, I've got nothing to do with Hitler. Well, that's how I feel about your absurd, disingenuous question.
Right, so therefore you support gun control?
What? I thought it couldn't get dumber, but it did. No, I don't support disarming law-abiding people so they can't defend themselves. So the government has a monopoly on violence? I don't think so. First of all, in my country, that's illegal, as you know. But moreover, it should be illegal in every country. A sovereign person has the right to defend himself and his family.
So let's go to this. He says that he abhors violence. He abhors state violence. He abhors personal violence. He has absolutely never been a supporter of violence. Her response to that was, so you support gun control? I mean, wow. I hate to say it because people say it and it sounds so cliche, but really you can't make it up. You really can't make it up. Oh, this is literally, she is drawing lines on a map that do not, and connecting them that do not connect. This is amazing. And I thought, and I, you know what? I right now owe an apology to the American educational system, because I thought, watching these people in America, that I thought this was absolutely an American invention and that we were teaching these people to sound this crazy. Now I realize, no, this is a leftist convention. This is something that the left is doing all over the West, maybe even all over the world. And this goes to show, not only are they teaching people in journalism schools, maybe they actually have a plan, a Western plan or a worldwide plan that is even bigger than this, because it's very hard to duplicate this exact same speech and question pattern in multiple places and believe that there isn't some connection in that. Accidents don't tend to happen exactly at the same time in exactly several different places. Those tend not to be accidents.
Period. And that said, I'm totally opposed to harming anyone. Anyone. Have you been calling? Are you concerned about the war in Ukraine and the countless innocents being murdered there every single day? I doubt you are. Probably Putin bad. I am. I'm a Christian. I hate violence. I hate mass shootings. I have guns at home, and often on my person when I'm in the United States, I'm proud to say, because I want to defend myself and those I love against violence. That's the point. I'm not perpetrating crimes. I'm not shooting strangers. I'm defending what I love. And if you're against that, I guess I would ask why. Why would you be against that?
Well, so you don't think you harbor any kind of responsibility for these hate crimes?
I'm sorry. I'm trying to be charitable. I'm trying to be charitable.
Oh my!
I was like, maybe you're just pretending to be dumb. Now I don't think it's an act.
No, it's not an act. It's absolutely not an act. This is the result of a plan. This is an absolute plan. This woman went in there with a plan, who's well trained on this crazy pattern of speech. When somebody says, you know, I am 5 feet tall, and then the reporter looks back at them and says, so you're against abortion. It's like, what does that have to do with abortion? Where is this to totally try to keep you off balance and not really engaging in the ability to deliver your message, because they want to obscure your message, because they are angry that what your message is antithetical to the narrative that they're pushing. That's all this is. These crazy questions, they would like, oh, so you killed the dog. I mean, you could say anything apparently and be a credible journalist nowadays. It doesn't matter. The whole point is keep them off, back on their heels. Keep everybody off balance. Don't ever let them have an opportunity to concisely deliver their message if their message is antithetical or against or in opposition to ours. I've said it before. We have a saying in my family: truth is only opposed by those who are living in opposition to it. Please remember to like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to click the notification button so you'll know the next time I drop a video. I want to thank you so much for visiting my channel, and I hope you come back and watch another one of my videos and visit my channel again soon. Bye-bye.